Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm. We continue on with our derivation. What is the natural definition of sensorality? Nothing at the forefront of my mind, just moving through the derivation steps. What is liability to reliability? And so again, we've kind of built this word up in AB, first two letters, ility, but ability, liability, reliability. Responsible is reliable. Sensorality is reliability. Sensorality is responsibility. Reliability is responsibility. Sensorality censors self. Sensorality self-censors. Sensorality is oratorality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Rhythm is to algorithm what blank is to sensorality. Again, this relationship of a function, base, and range. Range is resonance. Again, the more rich your vocal quality can be, your vocal range isn't singing louder. And I want to say fundamentally, physically, it's just, again, whole steps or half steps of different amplitudes of frequency, harmonics, but resonance is range. More syllability derives to less syllability. I want to say that's, again, basis to range is what we went to, but just more syllability to less is derivation. But again, from rhythm to algorithm, and its most fundamental, literal, it's an identification of a base of a concept of syllability that has fundamental meaning, rhythm, and then algorithm also has association. It's not as well defined. Rhythm, a cycle that does work. Algorithm, inanimate sorting. But just, again, overall, finding this definitive, completable section of syllability. What is theme to base? Interference is resistance. Fear is resistance. Using the phonetic pronunciation, the irreducible sound preserved within, contained within interference, fear is resistance. Natural definition, fundamental theorem of emotion. Again, reflecting this immediate geometric inversion, E and A. F and R, again, the lowercase f kind of looks like an R. It's directly literal. But all of the decision making out in the world, fear is resistance, right? Fear is interference. It affects decision making. Eats is east. Like I eat food in the direction. East or eats is east. Natural definition, direct iteration, emphasizing that is complete. It uses the exact letters uniquely one time. Mouth, month, I put this in the last episode. I corrected it on the screen. They are not chiral, right? They are symmetric. You can rotate the U 180 degrees and directly produce the same exact shape as N. So I corrected it on the screen, but again, you overall get what I'm saying is you like rotate it, and it's just the one geometric difference. And so I fixed that on the screen yesterday. That was another, I think that was the third thing that we've gotten explicitly directly wrong. Again, just pointing out anything that comes to mind. But if you rotate the U and the N, same with like B, P, Q, and D, moving along. What is symmetry to reducibility? Right? We are reducing this whole logical structure, rhythm, algorithm, even syllability. UN, they are chiral, or they're not chiral, they're achiral, which I don't like that word. Again, it's like one of those antiderivative, codomain, achiral, right? You have symmetry and asymmetry. Chirality is asymmetry, symmetry is congruence. But what is symmetry to reducibility? Symmetry reduces, right? The reason chirality exists is because it stabilizes. You don't have the proton and the electron exactly one-to-one size. They both have one unit of charge, but it doesn't collapse in on itself. We don't have the iron catastrophe. That's why your visual cortex flips your eye input. That's why when you're doing grammar and you get into cumbersome positions, that's why hyphenation emerges. Symmetry reduces, asymmetry doesn't. Chirality is not reducible. Symmetry is congruence, fundamental theorem of geometry. Symmetry maps, symmetry covers. Are syllables symmetric? Again, no. They reflect the chirality of the objects that are moving that produces the sound. What is athleticism to authentication? Again, that TH in athleticism, you have to be coordinated to be athletic. Athleticism is ordinal. The TH is the same. Same with authentication. Authenticality, athleticality. Math is authentic, emphasizing in Gaelic or Celtic or whatever, however the right way to call that language is. Ma, like the M-A-T-H, that syllability means good. The direct Romanized representation. And so math is authentic, math is good, mathematicality is authenticality. All right, themes are authentic. Again, emphasizing, again, getting really close to, again, a direct geometric progression to establish spelling of sensorality. Sensorality is an authentic theme. Sensorality is a scene theme. I think we've hit scene theme again, and scene is another clear word, but like in like the gothic or like the punk rock scene. Spacing differentiates. Spacing is differentiation. Sensorality differentiates nothing. No thing, one thing, two things, so on and so forth. Do echoes vibrate? Sensorality does echo. And so now going from do echoes vibrate to sensorality does vibrate, emphasizing the syllability. Do echoes completely goes to does echo, and then vibrate to sensorality. But logically, I presented this in one of the first songs I wrote, Where Will We Go? All right. We hear echoes in our voices. As again, we're the first time I articulated again that conceptualization. But do echoes vibrate? Sensorality does echo. Is math athletic? We're not Olympians. We're mathematicians. We are math Olympiads. Again, just a step that came up. Authenticality is originality. Are algorithms original? Emphasizing the G and the O. Is originality diagonal? Again, emphasizing the letters. Is agony original? And that again, diagonal is built on agony, again, just directly, literally. So is originality diagonal contains the syllability of is agony original. So again, this whole process is reduction. Well, I would say at least for the last 3.5 years. Certainly all of the recent videos I've made in the past year. Gus Mode agrees. He's right here. He's our lead, he's our PI. But again, this overall containment of syllability is reducing. And then we have some fundamental limit that will again produce our logical out of bounds and complete some aspect of syllability. Solidifying exactly what sensorality is. Is originality diagonal? Is agony original? How do letters preserve orientation and direction? Again, grammar is chiral. Our objects, the way they grow or evolve, has this opposition, this inversion to opposition, that stabilization. That's the fundamental stability of two, and then it inverts again. But how do letters, again, just using the Roman alphabet, again, historically, everything was typically written on scrolls. I don't want to say exclusively, but for our recorded history, to the top to the bottom, and then you have plenty of writing left to right and right to left, different shapes. But all of that grammar structure preserves this chirality of geometric objects, and it's reflected in language, but more or less you read and write linearly, whether it's up to down or left to right or right to left, right? How does that geometric reality manifest in letters? How are letters sequenced? Preserve, pursue. Sensorality sues, sensorality pursues. Sensorality is pursuant. Emphasizing from pursue to pursuant, we go from that E to the A. And that's such a poignant, again, a logical step is that when we go from E to A, we're generalizing. I'm pretty sure. Again, A is chronologically before E in the alphabet. E is our base, they're fundamental inverses. Certainly the letters, there has to be some relation to the sound. But again, pointing out any part of the analysis, but the analytical process has already been completely proven. And so we're just working out a specific solution. Sensorality is pursuantality. Lawsuits pursue. Natural definition, you're being sued, lawsuits are pursuant. What is language to engagement? Emphasizing the double G as well as the U into language. A sewage is another word that always pops up when I see the word language. Sensorality engages language. Sensorality is engaging language. Engaging is interesting. Censorship disengages. Engaging enrages. Natural definition, direct iteration, right? Oh, Sean Carroll's a violent, we don't know. Sean Carroll's definitely a criminal. Do not engage. Considered extremely dangerous. Do not engage. For his prolific criminal activity. Engaging enrages. What completes sensorality? We are trying to complete sensorality, so language is literal. What completes sensorality? Clearly the two iterations were some form of orality, oration, oratory, sensory, sensation, all right? Sense and orality seem to be the two words we're iterating, and we're finding some sort of completable syllability within that. What completes sensorality? What does sensorality complete? And again, by exhausting the conceptual representation linguistically, we would produce our new word form. And so it happens at the same time. The completion of sensorality, right? One door closes, another door opens. You complete one axiom, another axiom form is produced. But then the conceptualization is not present in the species as a whole for another 7 years. But focusing on sensorality for now, and the fact that my rights continue to be violated, and I've already done this, there's no step that's going to make anything in the world change. And that's all I really care about. Each day my life just gets taken. What is luminosity to density? I know we've hit that before, but again, sensorality is density, energy. Again, density has movement potential. That's our physics proper current working definition of sensorality until we stabilize. What is generosity to density? Right? Are generous people dense? Sensorality is generosity density. Sensorality is generosity velocity. Might have hit that one before, doesn't matter. Moving along. Is science physical? Is sensorality physical? Is sense physical? Is orality physical? And it's not that I want to say it doesn't matter the steps, it's just I'd be more interested at, again, how many of the exact same steps I hit. Because the iteration, like the derivation of sensorality, has to be unique. I mean, that's what a definition is. But a lot of certainly the fundamental analytical tools are the exact same. The energy and velocity, exact same. Velocity, viscosity, exact same. But like when I said sensorality is generosity, velocity, I feel like I've said that before, but again, I just do so much derivation, there's literally no point to attempt to memorize anything. So more of a personal curiosity. But again, my rights are so violated, my consent is so violated, nobody cares. All right, sensorality consents. I am using my orality to tell people I do not consent to being forced to do this because I can't turn off my capacity and I just want constitutional rights or some money behind closed doors, and the answer is go fuck yourself. It's like, all right, sweet. Again, I emphasize no American is ever allowed to directly benefit or view my work or participate in anything that I've ever produced. Sensorality senses science. Priority is protocol. Sensorality prototypes. Is learning limited? Learning is earning. Direct iteration, natural definition. Sensorality is earnality. Sensorality is earnest. Honest is earnest. Natural definition, direct iteration. Earn, earnest. Is earnest full? Is joy earnest? Sensorality is a sense of law. Sensorality senses law. Liable, pliable. Reliable, repliable, right? A response is a reply. Generalize the word reply. Repliability, repliable. Again, directly expanding our word form that we started with: ability, reliability, reliability, repliability. Sensorality is repliability. I don't even know what to say to that, right? Somebody says something, I don't even know how to respond. I don't know how to reply. I don't even know what to say to that. I've heard it a bunch in my life, and again, people scapegoated me, slandered my name, and it's like, oh, I can't accept reality, and I don't have to because I'm a horrible person. Let's just scapegoat Brad and ruin his whole existence. I don't know what to say to that. Go fuck yourself, Brad. Oh, that's fun. Here's the law. Does that ever kick in? Nope. All the people that profoundly abuse me still have employment. That's crazy. Sensorality is repliability. Expanding, just again, I do these steps, but I don't know why they're useful. This abilitality stuff. Sensorality is repliability. A reply is a liability, right? If you respond, you open yourself up for something. At least you do in court. If the questioning is brought on by the witness that you've called, you open that up for cross-examination, right? A reply is a liability. Does that make exact contextual sense? Again, it doesn't matter. A reply is a liability, natural definition. A reply is engagement. Values are associations. I did want to point this out, even like when I'm out riding my bike, the labeling still like comes to mind. Like I still would have labeled this the fundamental theorem of associativity, which is like another huge section of math, not mass, but like distribution, associative, like those types of like fundamental property things you come across, like your basic identities of algebra or whatever you call them. But like when I'm not writing things down, like the labeling of fundamental theorems still like explicitly presents itself. And I would have said the fundamental theorem of associativity: values are associations, right? You are who you hang around, right? Your friends reflect your personality, that type of awareness. Values are associations, right? What the meanings of words are associations. Effectively structured onomatopoeia. Is consensus an association? A definition is an association. What is censorship associated with? Again, obscenity is the theme of sensorality. Values are virtues. Values are vibes. Vibes are virtues. Liability is fault. What is fault to default, right? Debt defaults. Algorithmicality defaults, right? He reverts back to his primitive behavior. He defaults to XYZ behavior. Algorithmicality, non-sentient filtration, defaults. Whatever just it's trained to do. A reply is a response. Repliability is responsibility. Again, directly expanding the ability, liability, repliability word form. So my rights continue to be violated. I continue to ask for a little bit of money to eat properly, to sleep properly, and to work. I have no conscious memory of this derivation process literally not happening my entire life. Nobody cares. I say it in every video. I have nothing else to say. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.